The human being has to be part of the ecosystem. What have we done now? We've separated ourselves from the ecosystem and built concrete jungles, and we are living in separation. The war is not outside of us, the war is within. And this is why we need a practice like the Healing Warrior Tribe in the current day.
What kind of a person or
Hmm.
what kind of a mind does it take to get on any kind of healing journey, whether it is healing relationships or it's healing financial issues or it's healing physical health issues?
Yuvraj, there's only one problem in the world. Whether it's relationship problems, financial problems, family issues, work issues, there's only one solution that we have in the world is communication. The difference between a man and a woman is one chromosome. Ardhanari, Shakti is the goddess, and Shiva is the god, Deva. So when there is an imbalance in the body, it's the dance of the divine masculine and the divine feminine is out of balance. And when a person, a human being, is showing up like this, how do you think is going to be their relationship outside? They're going to be showing up chaotic, mad, and then they blame the other person. So, mental health, right, which is a huge topic in our current world, is nothing but a stagnant trauma trapped in the physical body at a gross level. When you're flushing energy through your nervous system, it'll kick it out of the system. Instant pharmacy is here. You don't have to go out for medicine. Just do the practice 45 minutes, half an hour, whatever you can, 1 hour at the max. Boom, you don't have to take any medication. It's already resetting. Next day, wake up and do the same. Wouldn't it be amazing that you walk around as a problem solver and you just walk around solving problems? Wouldn't that be amazing? That's what you become. That's what I am.
What kind of a person or
Hmm.
what kind of a mind does it take to get on any kind of healing journey, whether it is healing relationships or it's healing financial issues or it's healing physical health issues?
Hmm.
So, what does it take to do that?
Anyone who wants to heal the where they currently are is you have to understand how they got there. The reason they got there is because they don't have a clear timeline. They don't have a timeline as to where they see themselves. When we don't have a purpose or a problem to solve, the body gets bored because it doesn't have anything to create. And naturally, it starts falling apart. There's only one problem in the world. And this one problem can solve all the problems in the world, whether it's relationship problems, financial problems, family issues, work issues, health problems. There's only one solution. The one problem that we have in the world is communication. When we solve that problem of having good communication skills and a sound understanding of communication, every other problem is solved in the world. Whether it is in a person or in a household or in a community or in a society, in a country or in the world. Why are people having a war between Israel and Palestine? In the modern time, that in the time that we are in, is it not possible to have a clear, peaceful communication to solve this problem instead of carrying weapons? I'm sure any school child would know this. Every child knows this. Forget about school. Every child knows this. As adults, what has happened to us? Why can't we communicate? What's happened between Ukraine and Russia? I'm sure communication can help resolve this problem. The instant remedy is to strike rather than think and intellectually have a peaceful conversation. And when you tune into that, you need a sound body. A one with a poor body will want to see how we can sabotage the next country. It's not going to come. Someone who's making these decisions does not have a sound body. I can assure you that. Because a warrior's body is a body that maintains peace, eternal peace, that is kind and compassionate. How does a warrior's body work? Why is a warrior's body sound? Why is a warrior's body able to be kind and compassionate, yet strong and disciplined and resilient and powerful and sharp? Why? How? The science behind it. This is how the gods gave the art to us. There are 72,000 nerves in the body. 36,000 runs on the left hand side of the body, which governs the divine feminine of the body. 36,000 runs on the right hand side of the body, which is the divine masculine side of the body. They all come and fit into a junction box of 108 nadis, meridians. They're not physical in nature, they're metaphysical in nature. 54 run on the left, 54 run on the right hand side of the body. When we do an ancient practice like the healing warrior tribe, these 108 nadis get activated. And when these get activated, it goes and reaches to the 72,000 nerves of the body. The entire body is buzzing like a fairy lights. What do you think is going to happen when your body is buzzing like fairy lights from the inside? Every cell is glowing. There is clarity in mind. There's clarity in the way you see the problem and how you solve the problem. There's integrity. And the way you start thinking is of divine nature, which means the way you would resolve the problem will be of divine nature. It'll be coming from a place of how am I bringing value to someone and how am I receiving value from the other. In that relationship, how can there be war? The war is not outside of us, the war is within. And this is why we need a practice like the Healing Warrior Tribe in the current day, so we can help solve problems. If each and every one of us in the world starts solving our own individual problems, we'll soon run out of problems. I don't have any problems of my own. No relationship problems, no family problems, no health problems, no financial problems. The human being has to be part of the ecosystem. What have we done now? We've separated ourselves from the ecosystem and built concrete jungles, and we are living in separation. Then we wonder why we don't have health, because we don't have sun, we don't have earth to sit on or stand on. We don't have fresh air. It's air conditioned, it's chemical. We travel in a car which is completely closed with brand new Rexin and leather plastered all over, plastic smell coming through, and we're inhaling all that toxic air and thinking that we're doing great driving a Peugeot or a Maserati or a whatever, an Audi. Doesn't matter. You can drive a Toyota and still have the same effect. It's chemical that you're inhaling. What happened to the times we used to bicycle around the place? What happened to the times when we used to walk? We had more health. So in this separation, we've lost connection. So my greatest work in this planet, in this life, would be to bring forest back into our lives. Build humanity as a part of an ecosystem, which is a community that will support the forest, not destroy the forest. For that, every being needs to be a healing warrior. Only then can we achieve this goal, not just for me. I'm just one tiny being in this vast planet. Every human being's goal should be this, so that the way that we leave this planet should be better than the way we came into this planet. The way we took birth in this planet should be better than the way we leave this planet, for the next ones to come and enjoy this.
So I have a follow-up question to this, because you mentioned about the nadis in the nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
So many people experience an overstimulated, if that's the right word, or understimulated nervous system, where they are either too lethargic about taking action and about showing up for themselves, or they're so overactive that they burn out while trying to do so. So can they do something to overcome this problem?
Absolutely, Raj. So this is purely happening because the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere of the body is not synchronized. And the reason why it's not synchronized is because there is an imbalance in the body between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. This is something I like to talk about. I'm just going to go off subject for a moment. The difference between a man and a woman is one chromosome. We are 49. So I am 49% female and 51% male. Ardhanari, Shakti is the goddess and Shiva is the god, Deva. So when there is an imbalance in the body, it's the dance of the divine masculine and the divine feminine is out of balance. There is not a symbiotic relationship within the body. When there is no symbiotic relationship within the body, the nervous system shows up shabby. It's either they're too hyperactive or they're underactive. And when a person, a human being, is showing up like this, how do you think is going to be their relationship outside? They're going to be showing up chaotic, mad, and then they blame the other person. You know what blaming means? When you're blaming someone, you're not taking responsibility of your actions. If they only look within and see the symbiotic relationship between, I'm not feeling very good on the left hand side, which means my divine feminine has been affected. So I need to care for that, this side of the body. The left hand side of the body is a reference to you, who you are. Everything that is happening on the left hand side of the body is a reference to what is happening to you. Resistance to you, self sabotage, lack of self care. Everything to the self is marked on the left hand side. So if you have a problem on the left hand side, audience, watch this, listen to this carefully, okay? If you have a problem on your left side of the body, shoulder pain, left arm pain, left knee pain, left hip pain, they all mean something. They all mean you are not looking after yourself. You are not caring for yourself. You are in resistance to care about yourself, which means you're doing too much for the outside world and not doing enough for the inside world. Okay? The right hand side of the body is Shiva, is everything else, everyone else outside of you. Everyone else apart from you is placed on the right hand side of the body. So if there's problems in the right shoulder, right hip, right knee, right whatever, rib cage, etc., the right side of the body, even the balance, the way you walk, if you're limping on one side, that side is in resistance and rejection of the world. So the right hand side is rejection of the world, rejection of anyone outside of you. The moment you know this, start understanding it's time to find the balance between the left and the right, between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And that is the dance of life. When one finds that balance, you're living in absolute harmony. Then you live the healing warrior's life. A healing warrior is someone who heals the body by being aware of the left hand side and the right hand side meridians of the body. A practice like the healing warrior tribe does exactly that. All you really have to do is show up. It does exactly that. Solves all problems. If you're a balanced being, then your timeline is balanced. The communication that comes out of you is divine communication, which means you've solved all those 5 problems, the only problems of the world.
So, what I understood from this is that the left and the right represent either the others or yourself.
Hmm.
And in order for it to be balanced, you need to make changes in your life in order to balance them. Is that correct?
Yes, you need to move
Okay.
prana through the body, move energy through the body, and understand about how to cultivate energy. When you cultivate energy, it'll naturally go and tap into the 108 meridians of the body. And that will flush out energy into the 72,000
Mm.
nerves of the body.
Mm.
Any blocks, any nudge, any bends or toxins locked in this will get flushed out. So, mental health, right, which is a huge topic in our current world, is nothing but a stagnant trauma trapped in the physical body at a gross level. So, this will kick it out. When you're flushing energy through your nervous system, it'll kick it out of the system. Of course, with practice, with continuous practice. But each day's practice does the work for that day. Instant pharmacy is here. You don't have to go out for medicine. Just do the practice 45 minutes, half an hour, whatever you can, 1 hour at the max. Boom, you don't have to take any medication. It's already resetting. Next day, wake up and do the same. The more you do, you turn your body into a weapon. That's why these guys come. These guys come around to shape your body into a weapon. You heal fast. Really, really fast. Because your timeline and this will be matching. Because in your timeline, you'll already have the previous night, tomorrow morning, I'm going to wake up early and do my healing warrior tribe practice. So naturally, the body is waking up to do that. How do you think it's going to show up? It's going to show up as a warrior. And once you train, it's going to show up as a very strong, ultimate warrior for that day, for you, not for anyone else. You're showing up for you. And that's how it works. That's exactly how it works. That's how I made it work for me. I'm only sharing what works for me. I'm not talking stuff which I haven't experienced or experiment with this body. Every single thing I'm saying is coming from the knowledge and the understanding and the experience of what I have lived in this life, in this time, in this planet, with this very body that you're seeing. So if it can happen to this body, it can happen to anybody, every single body out there.
Whenever we talk about healing, especially online, we see a lot of content about self respect, about self image, self worth, self esteem. So, what does Siddha Yoga that you teach have to say about these things, and how do we heal them?
The only reason someone has low self esteem, low self respect, and this self sabotaging nature, and all of these puts them in a place of a low self image. It's not a very attractive self image. Not having a goal is causing them a poor self image, and naturally a poor self image will have low self esteem. A poorly functioning car, a really old doesn't matter how old the car is, but if the car is not maintained and kept well, it's a poorly functioning car. What will be the looks of a poorly functioning car? It'll be falling apart from the outside. It'll look not so attractive. Nobody would want it. We call it a bomb, a poorly functioning car which looks like a bomb, because at any time it's going to blow up. That's what it looks like. It is an unreliable car because it's not going to go too far. No one knows when it's going to explode. Take that and put it in the human being. A poorly functioning human being, their self image is not going to look attractive. It's not going to be reliable. Clearly, the self esteem and the self worth of that body is not going to be great because there's not much prana, there's not much life force flowing through that in their body. How do we make that better? How do you take an old car and make it into a magnificent antique piece that everyone wants to come and have a look, take pictures with it, and drive it? Dream of driving it. By maintaining this, by just maintaining it. Give it the parts it needs, give it the fuel and the fluids it needs, give it the momentum that it needs. Take it out and drive it. Let the pistons and all the working parts of the car move. And the same thing applies for the body. When we move all the working parts of this body, then it actually is working. When a body is fully functional and it's mobile and it's working in its optimal level, in its optimal space, naturally the thought process that's happening in the body will not be of a self sabotaging nature. Their respect will be earned through their practice, through working for their body. Their self esteem will grow up because their spine will stand up like an exclamatory mark and not a question mark. Have you ever seen a person with low self esteem having an exclamatory mark as a spinal cord?
Never.
Usually they'll be like this. They don't want to even make eye contact. They'll be looking on the ground. I used to be that person. That's how I know so well. I had really low, bad self esteem. I was showing up so shabbily at school, not in terms of my uniform and how I showed up and the physical. I didn't like school. So I had really poor self-esteem because I wasn't really doing very well, and I thought everyone was judging me for how I was doing in school, how I was doing in class. And I could not make eye contact with anyone because I thought I'm not worth anyone's time or anyone's attention. So I'd be looking, my eyes would always be pointed to the ground. From there to here, I mean, if I'm sitting here and giving a podcast with clarity and being able to share my experiences and whatever's coming is purely grace. She picked me up and put me on a path and showed me a timeline and taught me how to communicate so I could be here doing this and gave me a practice that tunes the body to its best space. Like I said, if I can do it, anybody can do it and everybody can do it. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm purely sharing what I've learned and experienced back to the world so that they can benefit out of what this body has experienced. So, self respect, self esteem, self sabotaging nature, self image can be easily corrected once you have a purpose in your mind, once you have a problem that you want to solve with your body. Simple. Instantly, your body will start assimilating and repairing itself. And when you have an ancient practice like this, it fastens the process, it speeds up the process, it accelerates the process, not just to solve that problem, it solves every other problem you have in your life. And then you start solving the problems around you in your communities. Wouldn't it be amazing that you walk around as a problem solver and you see, you just walk around solving problems? Wouldn't that be amazing? That's what you become. That's what I am.
You mentioned something about feeling that other people may judge them,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So I have a question in relation to that, which is uh, this judgment, this feeling that someone may judge them, can come as a result of whatever life problem or physical health issue or relationship problem people might be going through, and that kind of becomes like a self-made prison for them where they stop seeking help,
Stop growing.
stop growing,
Hmm.
stop looking for solutions,
Hmm.
because the sources that from where they can get the solution, they
Hmm.
might assume that they will be judged if
Hmm.
they try to access the sources, right? This includes mentorship also. They
Hmm.
may sign up for mentorship, but they
Hmm.
may not fully open up to the mentor
Hmm.
because they're not able to trust the mentor
Hmm.
fully because of this fear. So how can they overcome this fear so that they are not wasting their time, they're not slowing themselves down on their path to healing?
Okay. There are two questions you asked in that very context. And I have to thank you deeply because it's a question that has not been answered properly. It has not been addressed. People live their entire lives hiding and not doing what they truly want to do. And 99% of the time, the reason is, what will other people think of me? Will I be disconnected? Will I be disassociated with the normal things that they're used to doing? What will my community think if I became a billionaire? Will I lose my friendships? Will I lose the connections? Nobody talks about this. This is a real problem. If I become the best in my class, my friends who are backbenchers and the last in class will not associate with me anymore. So they will prepare to be dumb enough to hang out with the dumb kids in school. And this is all metaphoric, right? You can apply it in every aspect of your life, family, in relationships. If I have a beautiful wife, I will not take her out because I don't want her to be seen by other men. There are people like this. There are people like this in the Western world and in the Eastern world. Eastern world more so than the Western world. But it's there, it's true. They hide the beauty, they shunt the beauty of the person. And this is a serious mental problem. When a human being has taken the journey to take a birth in this planet, go through the excruciating pain of being born, and the one giving birth is going through the most excruciating pain in entire mankind, and then they come out and don't really fully live their lives to their full potential. Isn't that a waste of life? When will we wake up to this? The moment you realize this, it's a wake up call. This is a wake up call. This is an attendance to the real solution, to the real problem. You're here to live your life, not to live your community's life or your family's life or your partner's life or the life of your school teacher and your employer. If you can grow and become the CEO of the company, do that. Don't try to live a mediocre life. You're here to be an elite being. Every one of us. What is that we got taught in school is to compete. There can only be one person who's on the top and everyone else is on the bottom. The pyramid structure. Why can't we all work together and grow up as a tribe? Why can't we improve ourselves? This is what we do in our tribe, Yaraj. This is how we solve problems as a tribe. When one person is struggling to do all the movements because it's either they're fatigued or they're tired or they're struggling with the movement, the rest of the tribe supports them to say, hey, you can do it. Provided they report in the group, say, hey, I had struggles with this. Energetically, they support the other person so that they can move together as one organism. But that's not how our actual world operates. We've gone away from working together, being united, working as one organism. There's so much separation that's happening there. And the question you are asking about how can they overcome this judgment of their society or their external environment is by actually showing up to themselves. Because that tendency comes back to mentors like myself. It comes back to me because they are so scared that they're going to be judged by me that they hide all the time. They hide all along of not showing up as to who they actually are. The moment they show up for themselves, they're showing up in their elite self. They're only judging themselves. By judging themselves so critically, they feel the entire world is judging them. And this is unfortunately a lot of us. It's quite hidden, but it's there. The trauma of judgment from childhood is embedded on their consciousness as self judgment, and that self judgment is caused them to think that everyone is judging them, and they tend to build heavy, strong titanium walls around and hide in this castle of titanium walls from their truth, from them to become elite beings, fabulous beings. They don't need that. That's why our practice is so humble, it's simple. All one has to do is just show up. Everything happens it's designed like that. It happens automated. Not just gives a healthy vessel, a healthy body, a sound body, but gives mental clarity. Gives mental clarity. They know what to do with that sound body, which is another course that we teach. It's called Mental Clarity Course, which we teach after one has completed about 6 months of Healing Warrior Tribe. Then you advance into doing a Mental Clarity Course. And that gives you a clear mind so that you have a sound body, an energetic body. And then what do you do with that energetic body? Mental clarity gives you the understanding of how to set your timeline, how to understand the sense of what's happening around in your environment, how to communicate, how to solve problems. It equips them with that.